Before you begin, you're going to need an Aerator key, and I'll put an Amazon link in the description below where you can pick up that key. It's only about $10 to $15 for a set. And so in this video, we're going to learn how to remove your bathroom sink's aerator, flush out the water line, and clean off that aerator. So the aerator is actually this little gray plastic thing inside of the faucet. And you see those little teeth around the outside of it. So to remove that aerator, we're going to need an aerator key, and you can see that this also has teeth on it that are going to help grab that aerator. So what we're going to do is we're going to line the teeth with the key with the teeth of the aerator, and we're going to turn that aerator counterclockwise. And it's not the easiest thing, it will slip on you, but if you keep working at it, you will get that aerator pulled out. Okay, so now that we have the aerator removed, we might lose some water from the sink. Don't worry about that. This is your aerator here, and we'll give you a bit of a closer look at it. It's probably going to have some small debris on it. We're just going to want to rinse that off, and then we're going to be ready to actually flush the water line. And so remember from the kitchen sink video, the purpose of the aerator is to add air to that water. Just like the name implies, and kind of make it so it's like a nice clean pour rather than, free-flowing water out of the tap. And so that free-flowing water that we're about to open up is going to kind of make a bit of a mess. So a little trick that I've learned is we just take a little hand towel and put it around the left side, the left corner of the sink, just like I have it here. And so I've been a little hesitant on making this video because you're probably going to see some pretty brown water coming out of that sink. Especially now, I'm making this video, we've got the COVID outbreak, and there's a large percentage of residents that aren't on site right now. So there's a lot of sitting water sitting in those pipes, and that sitting water is able to collect dirt, and it can be pretty nasty when it comes out. The same recommendation as always: if you just flush that water out, you're going to see that the water is going to be coming out clean here. If you just flush that water out, I promise you that water will clear. It might take longer on some sinks than others, especially second bathrooms that are rarely used. But if you just keep flushing that water, it will clear, I promise. Okay, now that I got that out of the way, we're ready to run our water. So we're going to go hot water on full force, and we're going to just let that spit out any brown water that might be in the line. As you can see here, the towel's catching all of that splash. If we remove that towel, you'll see that deck starts getting really wet really quickly. So remember to put that towel up there. Now that we have clean water here, we're ready to shut off and rinse off our aerator. Okay, and to rinse off that aerator, we're going to just go ahead and run the water nice and gently. Just get off any debris that might be on there, and it should look nice and clean like this. Now we're ready to reinstall our aerator, so we're going to turn the water off, and I'm going to put this camera down. And so the same way that we took the aerator out, we're just going to put it right back in. So we're going to line up the aerator with the faucet. And you're going to want it to be kind of nice and flush. You might have to try it a few times before you actually get it in there. And so we're going to want to go in a clockwise turn now until it's all the way tightened up to the very top. Okay, now that the aerator is in nice and snug, we could just go ahead and test it, and we should be running water the same way we always do. I recommend that this is done probably once every 2 to 4 months, depending on how frequently you're using those sinks. More so to flush the water line than to actually clean the dirt off of the aerator. The dirt on the aerator is probably more of like a yearly thing, but to flush those lines, which is beneficial both for you and the entire building, I would say every 2 to 4, every 2 to 5 months would be a good time. As always, if you have any questions, please leave them down in the comment section below. This way, if any other resident has the same question, they'll already have the answer in the comment section.